What's going on YouTube? This is Wayne with Wayne's Fish World. I'm coming at you with my 125 gallon, and let me get my thoughts together right now because this is going to be a long video. Some of you guys like the long videos, but anyways, I have not made a video on this tank in a long time. And all you freshwater people out there, I am so sorry. I have not forgotten you. I have not forsaken you. I have not forgotten you for 1 second. The reason I had not made a freshwater video is because I had no clue on what to make it on. Not that I had ideas in my back of my head, but I did not know what I wanted to do with this tank. Let's go back in time for a second. Alright, back in September, you guys know, I went to California for a weeks-long vacation. I called home, people were taking care of my tank. I said, hey, are the plants growing out of the tank? Yeah. Saw that coming. Just keep feeding the fish every day. Okay, cool. When I got back, the plants were a foot out of the water. Long story short, you guys heard this story several times. Highlight plants need a couple things. They need higher light, higher CO2 levels, and higher nutrient levels. And when those are provided, guess what? Your plants grow like ape shit. They grow out of the water. They will not stop growing for you. That can be a good thing or a bad thing. If you have the time for it, then that's great. But if you can't keep up with your plants, because trust me, plants, when this tank is healthy and rolling, I've cut back my lighting so they don't grow as fast too. But when I have my lighting booming, my CO2 booming, and my nutrients booming, and water changes every now and then, these plants grow like ape shit. So I cut everything back to slow down the growth in plants on purpose. That way I can get my thoughts together and not worry about trimming plants. So when I got back, plants grew out of the tank, blocked the light, highlight plants died because there was no food source for them. Long story short, you guys heard that again. Heard that before. So I thought about this tank for a long time, for several months. Let's see here, September, October, November, December. 3.5 months I thought about what I want to do with this tank. And it finally came to me. I don't know what I want to do with this tank. And I thought about several options. My first option was Oscars. I said, you know, I love Oscars. I had 2 Oscars back when I was in middle school. And you guys are going to get an Oscar video in 2015 in January, which isn't that far away. But I had 2 Oscars when I was in middle school, and I absolutely loved them. And they had so much personality, and I wanted to put Oscars back in the 125. But that came with the risk. As you guys develop with your fish knowledge, and the more experience you get, you'll realize that each fish has its own personality. Every fish is different. Every fish has its own personality, traits, and mannerisms. So you can get an Oscar fish that would do great in a community tank. You have an Oscar fish that would be absolutely aggressive. You can have an Oscar fish that's kind of a bully. You can have an Oscar fish that will uproot every plant. You can have an Oscar fish that will bite your hand. Or you can have an Oscar fish that you can pet. Literally pet. Each fish is different, and I'm not too sure if I wanted to take that risk. Then my second option was discus. Now you guys are saying, Wayne, what's wrong with you? Put discus in here right now. Get your tank back up to parameters and put discus in here right now. You know that a school of 20-some discus, all different colors, all different species in here would look absolutely amazing with your Dutch style aquarium. That would look phenomenal. And yes, it would. But there's one big risk with that, a power outage. I've had a power outage happen before and kill a lot of fish. I'm not willing to take that risk again. My all-time favorite fish was a yellow tang. I had him for 5 years. He was my first yellow tang. Had that fish for 5 years. Had a powder brown tang. Had a few other fish in that tank with them. Power outage came, killed all those fish. That stuff can really piss you off. Have a complete tank crash due to a power outage. There's a video on YouTube where this dude has a 300-gallon reef tank. He was away, and there was a power outage for a couple days, and absolutely everything in that tank died. That's thousands of dollars gone in the blink of the eye for something simple like a power outage. I'm not willing to spend $30, $50, $60 on a discus and have about 20 in here, then have a power outage, and every single one of those fish die because I can't meet the temperatures. Yeah, I can get a generator, but I've also got to worry about keeping that generator going. Do I have enough gas? Can I get to the gas station? Does the gas station have gas? All those factors boil into one. I'm not too sure if I want to risk it. So, discus for now is out of the option. Not doing it. Not worth the risk. Oscars, not worth the risk. Then I said, what if I go back to the basics? I love Dutch style aquariums. They're absolutely my favorite style aquarium. Saltwater, freshwater, ponds, whatever. I love Dutch style aquariums. And I said to myself, even though I love them, what if I just go back to Amazon plants because they're absolutely easy to care for? Even the a beginner can care for them. And I started doing that. You guys can see that I started working on the right side of the aquarium with nothing but low light plants. And I added driftwood in here for a couple of reasons. See, but you guys can see driftwood here, here, and here. That's to break up territory for the angelfish. When angelfish spawn, you guys know that they get very aggressive. And when there's more than one pair, they can kill fish. They don't care. They will do anything they have to defend their nest. And the more times they spawn, the better the parents they get, meaning the more aggressive they get when they spawn. So, over and over and over and over and over, I thought about what I wanted to do with this tank. For the last couple days, yesterday and the day before, I did a lot of water changes on this tank, and I did a lot of aquascaping and added driftwood in here. And I said to myself, the right side of the tank is going to be strictly Amazon, and the left side is going to be strictly Dutch. Now you guys know that it was mostly Dutch on the left and mostly Amazon on the right. But this time it's going to be strictly Amazon and strictly Dutch on the left. You guys can see it right now. From this point on, that side of the tank is going to be Amazon. This side of the tank is going to be Dutch. And I'm going to fade it in a little bit. But that way I can monitor my plants. If this side of the tank wants to outgrow and block all the light, then guess what? Only this side dies. If this side wants low light, then I can put low light on this side of the tank and only have highlight on this side of the tank. And that's also one thing I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to be changing the lighting on my tank. I'm absolutely keeping the fluval LEDs on this tank. Fluval LEDs are absolutely amazing. They're not radions, they're not metal halides, but they're awesome. If you have a 55, 75, 90, 125, something along those depths, these lights can do absolutely wonders for you. No negative feedbacks whatsoever with these lights. But I'm going to be adding more red to this tank, especially on this side of the tank, because that's just going to help those Dutch style aquarium plants thrive better. You guys can see that I used to have an Amazon sword over in this corner. The reason I had it in the far side corner is because when the angelfish spawn, if there's more than one pair spawn at the same time, then guess what? They can be separated in the tank. These two have paired up. This is the male, that's the female. The female wants to spawn over there, the male wants to spawn over there. I don't know. They're arguing about that right now. Where they're going to spawn, I think it's going to be over there because mama always wins. You guys know that. And yeah, I moved my Amazon sword over here, and then I took one of my favorite plants, and this plant is all over the country, and I literally mean that. Water Sprite Wisteria, that's all over the country too. But Water Sprite Wisteria was where that Apongeton ovastris is. When I put that plant in there, it milted back pretty bad. It only had like 2 little leaves, but I'm not trying to sound like Dustin, but this is completely true. Dirt saved that plant, or the nutrients inside the soil saved that plant, more to speak. It grew back within probably 2 weeks, and it's almost back to where it was at. It's got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 leaves, anywhere from 14 inches to 8 inches. And when it milted back, it only had like maybe 3 leaves at like maybe 4, 6 inches around there. It milted back pretty bad, but I moved that over there. Then I moved my Water Sprite Wisteria right here. That plant is all over the country right now. And where the Water Sprite Wisteria was the Rotala wallachai. That is my favorite plant. Everybody asks for that plant. I don't ship in the fall and winter, at least not right now, guys, because the simple fact is these tropical plants, if they hit frost, they're done. And in the wintertime, you're going to get frost. It's going to get cold. Shit's going to happen. Plants are going to die. People are going to be unhappy. And it's just going to be a lose-lose for everybody. So I'm not willing to take that risk. But back in the springtime and fall, I'll definitely be selling plants again. But Rotala wallachai is over here. What I'm going to be doing, I used to have a colony of Rotala species right here. And it used to go like that. I used to have Rotala wallachai, Nanjing sand, indica, and magenta over there. My Rotala, I'm going to make a wall of Rotala. And if you can make a wall of Rotala, it's absolutely stunning. Go check out, everybody knows him. God, what the hell is his name? Oh, fuck. What's his name? Made a video on him and bitched about him. And oh, my God, what the fuck's his name? Black hair guy, sells plants. Oh, my God. Help me out, people. Shit. I don't know his name. I'll put it in the video. But, I'm going to make a wall of that. He has a wall of Rotala. And absolutely stunning. So guys, I've got a lot of plans going with the 125. I've got to add angelfish because I completely forgot about something. With the deep dirt bed, it produces gases. Now, a lot of people bitched about this and stuff, and it can be dangerous if you let the pressure drop, and I let the pressure drop. Yeah. With a deep dirt bed, if it's really, really deep, like mine's 9 inches deep, but what it will do, it will provide toxic gases. And in small increments, they're not bad for your tank. They'll just bubble out. But if your pressure drops, they'll bubble out by the numbers. They'll come out a lot. My tank only had about 40% water in it. The pressure dropped, those gases escaped, and killed a few fish. A few of my angels, and a couple cory cats, a couple serpes, and a couple neons. So I've got to replace a few fish too. That's one drawback of deep dirt beds. But if you don't let that pressure drop, nothing will go wrong with it, because this tank would have crashed long ago if it wasn't for that deep dirt bed, because the nitrates get pushed and converted into nitrogen gas. But if you let that pressure drop, it can absolutely backfire on you guys. This is Wayne with Wayne's Fish World. I hope you like this update, guys. Any suggestions on what to do with this tank? I'm getting tired of talking because I've been trying to make this video over an hour. I'll see you guys next time. This is Wayne with Wayne's Fish World. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Later.